8. History and God. Thus, the genius of history, that is, its tutelar deity in the Roman sense, was not Caesar but Jesus Christ, whose word declared the purpose of history. When the Roman officials demanded, as they did of Polycarp and other Christian martyrs, an offering of incense to the emperor, declaring, "Swear by the genius of Caesar, repeat and say, 'Away with the atheists,' they were declaring that the god, and in a sense almost the fortune of Rome, was the emperor. To deny him worship was to deny Rome and the meaning of its history and existence. An atheist was one who disbelieved or denied Caesar as this genius. Polycarp's answer was to say, raising his eyes toward heaven, 'Away with the atheists.' For Polycarp, the real atheists were these persecuting Romans. They denied history in denying Christ, for all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. John 1:3. History, according to Paulus Orosius, is the record of progress, despite its occasional declines from the human perspective, because it moves in terms of God, who makes all things work together for good unto his elect, and all of whose acts, even those that they have thought evil, they have found to be good. For Orosius, creation means providence and the government of God. It follows, too, that if we are the creation of God, we are also properly the object of his concern. The Roman Empire and the Roman peace were created by Christ to prepare the world for its coming. Christ is the judge of the centuries and judge over Sodom and Rome. Man can understand history only through the Word of God, because man's own perspective is that of a creature, and if he has no criterion outside of himself, his perspective is even to his own mind an obviously limited one, because what man knows and feels most sharply is the present. A man who is annoyed by fleas at night and unable to sleep may happen to recall other wakeful hours that he once endured from burning fevers. Without doubts, he will bear far less patiently the restlessness of these hours than the recollection of his earlier experience. Everyone, on the basis of his own experience, can testify that the time element does introduce a new consideration here. But will anyone come forth and assert, whatever his pain, that fleas cause greater suffering than do fevers? Man is subject, in his knowing, to the limitations of time, to the fact of his sin, which places him in rebellion against God and God's truth, and to the fact that man's own being is still extensively unknown to himself, in that his creaturely potentiality is not yet fully realized. He is, therefore, changeable. But God is, as Tertullian emphasized, unchangeable and eternal. Moreover, God neither ceases to be what he was, nor can he be any other thing than what he is. As Williams has summarized it, the concept of potentiality cannot be applied to God. This God has total command of himself and of all his creation, and he therefore both speaks and acts with perfection. True and consistent revelation and knowledge are thus possible, whereas among the non-Christian philosophers of the New Academy, their basic principle was that probability in the realm of knowledge is all that man can hope to attain. As Mareux has aptly observed, Christianity is an intellectual religion and cannot exist in a context of barbarism. The uneducated it must educate, and the learned it must challenge and overcome by the unrelenting apologetics of biblical faith. In the conflicts with the Roman Empire, the Christian thinkers carried the day, and Rome found that its only effective argument, which finally failed, was persecution. And the more fanatically the Roman emperors sought to advance salvation economically, politically, and religiously through their genius, the more obvious their failure became. Their quote-unquote salvation for all Romans more closely resembled oppression. Clearly, the non-Christian Romans themselves, who were not bound to pray for those in authority as were Christians, were at times more in a mood to swear at the genius of the emperor than by it